Hey there, creepy peeps. Welcome to my channel if you're new here, and welcome back if you're returning. Today's gonna be a video. If you watch any booktube videos, you probably know of a thing called a reading vlog. I've seen ones where people read multiple books, where people take like a day to read one book, which is what I'm gonna do. And I decided I would do a reading vlog of reading possibly the craziest horror book out right now, maybe, question mark, and that is House of Leaves by Mark Z. Danielewski. Hopefully I said that right. This is like almost 700 pages of madness, apparently. It is 2 o'clock now. I love how I showed you, like, you can see that. It's 2 o'clock now, and I have to be at work at noon tomorrow. So I basically have until about like 11:30 a.m. tomorrow to read this. I don't know if I'll finish. I don't know what's going to happen. That's the video. It's gonna be a reading vlog, whether I make it all the way to the end and I go insane, or if I quit. All I know is that this is supposed to be like a haunted house book, but like bizarro horror. Like, it's supposed to get real weird. Yeah, that's the video. I don't have any like set times I'm gonna stop and like talk to you guys, but that's kind of like the whole point of a reading vlog, is I'll stop periodically and let you know like what I think of it so far, all that good stuff. As of right now, because I haven't started reading this yet, I don't know if this will be spoiler free or not. So just rely on the title of the video. If it says spoiler free, it's spoiler free. If it doesn't, then there's probably spoilers somewhere within the video. Before I start this insanity though, I want to say thank you to my creepy patron peeps for supporting my channel. Thank you guys so much. If you want to find out the perks to being a creepy patron peep, you can follow that link in the description. Yeah, I'm gonna start, and then I'll see you guys in who knows how long with an update. I've been at it for 4 hours and I'm only on page 63. I don't know if I'm gonna finish this. What's it about so far? I don't really know. I read a whole chapter on like Echo. Almost like a critical essay, like a mock critical essay about a film that I'm reading with footnotes that like start, you know, delving into like, they just start getting more and more like stream of consciousness, like the footnotes from Johnny in the book. Yeah, so we're like at 2 layers of like narration. It's like it's like we're reading about Johnny, who's reading this Navidson, I don't know how you say it, thing. I'm already inarticulate trying to describe it, so I can't wait until I get further into this. Okay, sorry for the weird lighting. I'm using like my colored lights up on the ceiling and my TV. If I turn on my overhead lights, it does that weird strobing thing. And that's probably for the best because I took a shower break and so I don't have any makeup on. So at this point, I'm about... Honestly, me telling you what page I'm on at this point doesn't matter because I had to, I don't know if you can actually see, there's like a couple of appendixes and stuff that you have to flip back to, and I've probably read about 100 or so pages worth from the appendix, And then technically, if we're going in chronological order, I'm only on page 119, but I feel like I'm at the equivalent of like page 219-ish, I would say, if you take into account what I've read from back here. I feel like I've been reading this all day and it's only been, what time is it now? It's 11. I started at 2. I would stop now. Technically I'm in the middle of a chapter, but it's starting to get weird. Well, the format is starting to get weird. It'll probably, yeah, it'll just be easier if I show you. I'll put inserts. I had to stop because I'm like, I no longer know how to read this because it's already been insane with just all of the footnotes and flipping back and forth to like the appendices. Yes, comparing the two stories because we have two stories going on. We have the Navidson, that's how I'm just gonna pronounce it. The Navidson report, is that what it's called? I keep forgetting, honestly. Record, sorry, the Navidson record, which is one of our narrators, Zampano's record of this event that happened and was filmed. By a man named Navidson and his family, where they move into this house and they discover this part of the house where it's like the TARDIS. It's bigger on the inside. More like rose red, I guess. It's like scary. The house keeps changing, that sort of thing. More interested in that right now because at the moment, that story is making a whole lot more sense than Johnny's, who is providing all of these footnotes to Zampano's Navidson record. Oh my god. I feel like I'm kind of just like going along with it. I don't know how much my brain is actually comprehending of what I'm reading at this point. Johnny's footnotes and just like tangents he goes off of, like, can we even call them footnotes? I don't know. These footnotes will like literally go on for pages of, and it's just like stream of consciousness and it's getting like worse and worse. But now we've come to a part where the format is starting to get real weird and I don't really know how to, in what order to read this. So it's probably going to take me a second to figure it out. Some of this is backwards in the sense that I might need to like go use a mirror. So I'm going to attempt this weird section. I don't know what's happening. It's so bad that I talked for a full 2 minutes and realized the camera wasn't recording. I have this much left to do. I've read this much. This is the like appendixes and things, so I've got about 200 pages. I'm not comprehending a whole lot of Johnny's story right now. It's it's getting harder and harder to read, paired with the fact that it is 2 o'clock in the morning. I've been at this for 12 hours, so that's also making it more difficult. The Navidson record, like that story, is surprisingly way easier to follow than it was at the beginning. Like the very beginning of the record is a lot of setup, I feel like, and a lot of technical stuff. And now that they've kind of gotten into being in the house with like changing walls and stuff, it's a whole lot easier for me to comprehend, weirdly. Part that I showed you guys right before this clip, you would have seen where I was talking about how the format gets weird. There were parts that were upside down, parts that were like mirror images of things. That probably was the most difficult part to get through. That was a whole section where it was like the footnotes, like you'd see a footnote and you would only have a little section of a footnote, and you would have to like keep turning pages just to read that footnote and then go all the way back to where you were to finish your paragraph. Then there'd be more footnotes that you had to like flip multiple pages to find, and a lot of it was just literally just taking up space. It was like footnotes of just lists of names of places of movies, I shit you not. And it was just a whole lot of like flipping back and forth for like the footnotes, and then of course like a lot of the footnotes referred to like the appendix in the back which like you would get back to wherever it told you to go and you would have to read like 20 pages of notes back there, and it's like I genuinely at 2 in the morning of 12 hours of reading this so far, I'm at the point where I'm thinking, I think Mark Z. Danielewski is just a huge troll. I don't think all of these like stupid little footnotes and all this bullshit means anything. I think it's genuinely just to like get you in the mindset of like you're going crazy. I'm more annoyed than anything. Like I'm tired and I'm annoyed and I'm like, why the fuck? Why am I going on like wild goose chases for footnotes that don't mean anything? Okay, I don't know when the next time I'm gonna stop is. I may try and power through these last 200 pages. We'll see. If I come to another point where I feel like it's a good stopping point before the end, I'll come back, but I may try and power through these 200 pages and just get this over with, because honestly, if I wasn't doing this stupid video like 2 hours into this, I regretted it. So I hope it's entertaining. But if I was not doing this video, I would have DNF'd this like before the 100-page mark, honestly. Like, yeah, it's not something I would read normally, but we'll get into it at the end. So hopefully I can power through, and I'll be back to you in a split second. I can't be fucked to film me reading it right now.
2 hours later.
I finished it. Literally, words are not in my brain. Unfortunately, with the timeline of me filming this and editing this, I'm not going to be able to like insert my thoughts, like coherent thoughts, if I have any later on about this book. Possibly in my October wrap up at the beginning of November, when I go over everything I've read, if I have more coherent thoughts about this monstrosity, I will leave them there. First impressions at like 4 in the morning when I've been reading this for 14 hours. I've never felt more stupid in my entire life than when I read this book. Really infuriating to read. Just, I feel like I was kind of getting into it in that middle section. You have like the main exploration of the house, which make up the, what's it called again? Davidson record. That whole filming portion, although it's obviously, I'm not watching it, I'm reading it, but that whole exploration of this hallway that appears in the house, that was the most fascinating part to me. And then that last 200 pages was just psychologically devolving of Johnny. It was just not, I shouldn't have been reading it on, you know, at like 3 in the morning when I'm really tired and I can barely keep my eyes open. Am I gonna go back and read it? No. And then the rest of the stuff about the house is like, the Navidson guy just decides like he's like obsessed with the house, and the last 200 pages is a lot of like him trying to figure out like the scientific properties of the house, which is just so goddamn boring to read, especially at 3 in the morning. But after you've like made it through so much of the book and then you just get a bunch of like scientific explanation, it gets a little bit better when he goes back into the house. I don't know if I'm making any sense. This would probably be a really good read for somebody who likes to be in control of the narrative, because I've heard that there are multiple ways you can read this book. I mean, obviously, like with all the footnotes and the appendixes and things like that, you can decide how you want to read this for sure. And I think it lends itself a lot to figuring out for yourself, you know, like drawing your own conclusions, I guess. This is not the kind of book you want to read if you're like me, where you need a stronger narrative line and characters to like latch onto and relate to. You're not gonna get that here. Not for me. At this point in time, am I happy I read it? No. I'm not gonna officially rate it on Goodreads yet. Right now, it's like it's a 1 out of 5 for me. I don't know if that's gonna change very much. I'm gonna sleep on it and then decide what my rating is gonna be. If I find I have more coherent thoughts after a couple weeks when I do my October wrap up, I will talk about it then. But for right now, no. I'm gonna go to bed now. If you watch this, I don't know how this is gonna turn out when I edit it. I feel like I don't remember anything that I filmed. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up for my sleep deprivation. I appreciate it. Thank you. See you tomorrow with another new video. Until then, stay strange.